JJ, KSI, thanks for joining us. The reason we've got you on, a year ago today, the whole world, the YouTube world, and really the boxing world stopped for you against Logan Paul. When you sit here now and you reflect, I mean, what comes to mind when you just look back at the whole thing?
Oh, it was an incredible experience. The whole thing was ridiculous. Obviously, me and Logan had no right to be headlining a show, a boxing show like that. We were both amateurs and we were doing our first pro fights. So obviously there was a lot of old heads and a lot of, boxing fanatics who saw that and were angry and annoyed and confused and, didn't understand it. But, after the fight, a lot of people saw what it brought to the scene of boxing. It brought a lot of a younger audience to boxing, and it got a lot of people interested in boxing. And I feel like it did bits for everyone because of it. So,
I mean, you just literally just described my whole feeling towards it. I'll be honest with you, I was a doubter going in. Cool. I was a doubter going in, but actually, and I'll hold my hands up, when I got there and the rivalry and the narrative and actually meeting the two of you, I was well and truly invested. So you made a fan out of me. I had written down the chaos of last year. I mean, that was pure chaos from the moment fight week started and we went down to the beach. It was just pure chaos. Was it calm and collected on your side? From our side, it was just like, this is a whirlwind. We just got to go with it. Was it cool on your side?
Well, I mean, we've done stuff like this before. So, with the first fight, it was quite manic. And even with the Joella fight, it was fairly manic. So we had to just stay collected, stay calm. Obviously there was moments where things got heated. With Shannon Briggs doing his part. And, even Vidal getting a bit heated a few times here and there. But, ultimately, I kept my head and, I knew what I needed to do. And I got in the ring and did it. So,
in the build-up to it, and I'm talking specifically about fight week, like all eyes were on you and Logan. And that was a lot of new eyes as well. Was there any point during that week where you like, oh, this is bigger than I thought it would get? And was there so much pressure on you, you thought, have I made a mistake here? Or were you just 100% committed and you knew that you were going to win?
I knew how big this was. I knew this was humongous, but I never let it get to me, man. I a lot of times I hardly ever look at social media. I'd hardly ever look at like newspapers or anything to do with the fight or anything to do with, me in general. I just focused on training and being good at boxing, or to a certain point anyway, before I let the pressure get to me and start swinging left, right, and center. But for the most part, especially up until the ring, I stayed focused because I knew how important this was. I knew my legacy was on the line. Like, if I lost, I wouldn't be able to make a tune with Rick Ross and Lil Baby. It wouldn't have the same feel. If I lost, I wouldn't be able to make certain tunes. I wouldn't be as big as I am with the whole music because, I'd say me winning that fight was 100% one of the reasons why so many eyes are now being drawn towards my music. And I feel like that all of that made me think, okay, I need to make sure I win this fight, because if I win this is going to open a lot of doors. And it did. So.
Take us to the Staples Center when that first. But I mean, even before that, your own track on the ring walk. I mean, not many people can ever say that they get to do that. Ring walk into your. I mean, that's pretty special to your own ring walk track. But it had sold. It was going well, but the atmosphere was just wild as well. The ring walk. What comes to mind when you think back to that?
I remember when I was I was backstage, and I was just, this was just before I walked out into the ring, and I was just thinking to myself, this is it, this is your moment. And I had Vidal and Leon, just speaking in the back of my ears saying, you've earned this, like, you've already won, now you need to prove it to everyone and all this and that. And I was just hearing the crowd, I was hearing, the music blaring, and I was like, this is it, this is my time, this is my moment. And I know my friends, family, were all just scared, man. They were all, they were like, this is ridiculous. This is huge. And, they've all told me they would never do anything like that, because they just know how much pressure it is and how much how much was on the line, and for me to just go in there and just win, it's ridiculous. And you could tell the emotion when I won. Like, everyone was just going nuts and going crazy, even all around the world, man. The amount of videos I've seen of people celebrating, it was phenomenal. So yeah, bro, it was a huge event, and it's definitely one I'm going to remember for the rest of my life.
Some of that wasn't helped, was it, by Eddie Hearn? And, it got to the point where it had been hyped so much, like you were going to be a meme for the rest of your life if you did get knocked out. And the thing was that you and Logan have both said, there was the whole, it's definitely going to be a knockout, small gloves, no head guards. So it just built and built and built and built and built and built. So at no point, I mean, even when you're waiting to be introduced and stuff like that, were you nervous at all? Can you let yourself get nervous in a situation like that? I know you had done it before with the first fight.
Yeah.
But it did feel slightly different just because, like, the shackles were being taken off, the head guard had come off on that.
Of course, it was, like, for me, I'm quite weird. Like, I really don't let things get to me, because I know how much, like, if I do let it get to me, I'm just gonna freak out. I'm just gonna panic, and I'm gonna be like, this is ridiculous. What's going on? I can't believe I'm in this space. I can't believe I'm in this zone right now. Right, I'm fighting in front of thousands of people, millions around the world, and I'm just, everything on the line. I'm doing this. My head would implode. So a lot of times I just, I kept everything calm, collected. For me, everything is always just making sure everything is in balance, and I always just know what I need to do. I'm there, like, this is another step in my career that I need to do to get to the next step and the next step and the next step. So I knew I had to do. I knew I had to win. And even when I got, like, knocked down, and a lot of people thought, that's it. Like, it was he got me with a good shot. He got me a few good shots, even more, like, when I was on the floor, and people were like, this is it, it's done. Like, yeah, he's lost 2 points, but KSI, he's done now. He's finished. Like, he's wobbly, he's left, right, and center. I was like, no. Like, I had 5 minutes to recover, and I only took one, because I was there like, I need to keep going. I need to put the pressure on Logan, because that's how I'm going to win the fight. Just pressure him and make him uncomfortable. So, even when I was a bit drowsy, I was still like, I'm not losing this. I'm going to win no matter what. And that's just my mindset with everything. Like, music, YouTube, boxing, if I say I'm going to win, I'm going to win. And, whether it almost kills me, I'm going to keep going. So, yeah.
Yeah, go all in. I like it. And as you're waiting for the decision to be read out there, had you had a discussion with Adele? I mean, the general consensus at ringside was this is super close. It was muddled by the fact that he had the 2 points taken off. But are you thinking, I've got this, I've done enough, I've left it all in there?
It's actually funny. Stitch was the first person who told me, like, you've won this. And I was like, what? And Stitch was like, yo, I've been in a lot of fights. I know, I can tell you've definitely won this. Like, you pushed the pace. You were on him. Like, it looked like he didn't want it. You kept the center of the ring, and you hit with some big shots. Yeah, you've definitely got this. As plus, he's lost 2 points. This, that. And I was there like, nah. Like, I'm in America. I don't know, man. He, this is his hometown. Well, Ohio is his hometown, but it's a home country. So, it's gonna be for him. And I felt like it might just sway to him. And it is what it is. But when I heard from the United Kingdom, got gassed. And yeah, obviously, I went on my knees, because, bro, man, I worked hard for it, man. I can't tell people how tough the camp was. It's a shame. I wish I filmed it, because it was insane. The camp was, bro, sweat, blood, and tears in that camp. And people were saying that I didn't take it seriously, man. I took it so seriously, like my life depended on it. And man, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, but yeah.
I'm gonna play this one down, but, like, there was a little bit of bad blood between the two of you in the two fights. Do you think at the end of that, when you embraced, I mean, you did share a few words with him. Do you think, like, I could put it like this, that you did punch a little bit of respect into each other, that you came away from that more respectful for each other?
I think whenever you enter the ring, there's always going to be that level of respect, no matter who you are. not many people can do it. Not many people can go in the ring and fight. That's just simple as that. So if you can do that alone, that's respect. You know, you get respect for that. And yeah, obviously, you know, I always have respect for Logan. I always have respect for Joe Weller. I always have respect for anyone that goes in the ring with me. And it's just one of those things where, yes, we have had our bad blood, and you know, we'll probably never be friends ever again. It's just one of those things because we've, you know, had a fight, and there's always still going to be that bad blood in the background. But yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, there's a level of respect, and you know, I feel like me and him are happy to keep it just like that.